Hello and welcome to Data Communication and Networking online lecture series. Today's unit is unit number 3, that is data link layer, and in this unit today's topic is error detection and correction. So let's start with that. So first of all, let us see different types of errors. So mainly there are two types of error. First one is single bit error and the second one is burst error. Okay. Now what is single bit error? So a single bit error is a type of error in which there is only one bit is in error or is only one bit has changed to that of transmitted. Let's say for example, the transmitter sends this data sequences or this series of bits in which the data bit is or data sequence is 1 0 1 1 0 1, and at the receiver side it receives the sequence like this, that is 1 0 1 0 0 1. Okay, so as you can see the fourth bit is changed from 1 to 0. That means there is an error in the fourth bit in one bit only, so this is called as single bit error. Okay, now in burst error, let's say for example a transmitter sends the same data, that is 1 0 1 1 0 1, and at the receiver side the received data is 1 0 0 0 1 1. Okay, so as you can see the bit number 3 4 and 5 has been changed, so there are in error. So this kind of error in which more than one bits are changed is called as burst error. Okay, so an error control mechanism is to be obtained to control this kind of errors by transmission. So for that there are two types of error control mechanism. First is error detection and the second is error correction. Okay, there are various methods in error detection and error correction. So first of all we are starting with error detection. Okay, so errors in the received frames are detected by first parity check method, second checksum method, and the third cyclic redundancy check, that is CRC method. Okay, so now the difference between error detection and error correction methods are what? So the error detection method are used when there is a need of only detecting the errors. So error detection methods are not useful for correcting the error, but it is useful for only detecting those errors. That means where the error is present. Okay, they are not for error correction purpose. And the second one, that is error correction codes or error correcting codes, are those codes which can detect and correct the errors as well. Okay, so now in error detection main three methods are there: parity check method, checksum method, and cyclic redundancy check, that is CRC method. Let us understand each and every method in detail. First of all, parity check method. Let's say for example the sender sends the message 10111. Okay, in this is even parity, that means the number of ones are even. Okay, so parity means what? It may be even or odd parity, that is the number of ones in the given data sequence, right? So here in the given data sequence there are 4 number of ones, so this indicates the even parity. Okay, now at the receiver side the received data is 10110. That means as you can see the number of ones are reduced to 3. Okay, so this will become the odd parity. Now what receiver will do? Receiver will check the parity that is to be sent by the sender. Right, it was even parity and at the receiver side it became odd parity. That means it understands that there is an error in the received data. Okay, but the main drawback in this system is what? For example, the data 2 bits are changed. That means instead of only single bit, that means up to single bit it can detect, but for example if this bit is changed to 0, that means again the number of ones will be 2 only. So this odd parity will become now even parity. So whenever the receiver will check whether the sender has sent the even parity or not, so that will be the same. That means this has sent the even parity and this has received the even parity. So receiver will understand that the data is received correctly, but it is not the case because here 2 bits are changed. So parity will be unaffected, right? So this is the biggest drawback of this system. So in parity check method, if only single bit error is to be there, then it may be useful, or it may be useful in the system where the error probabilities are less. Okay. Now next, checksum method. In checksum method, the data sequences or else two consecutive data sequences will perform a checksum, and this checksum is also transmitted along with the data bits, and at the receiver side the new checksum is computed for the received data, and now these two checksums are verified. If both checksum are same, then there is no error, and if the checksum produced at the receiver side does not match with the transmitter side checksum, then it indicates that there may be error. Okay, let us see at the receiver ends all received segments are added to get the sum. Okay, this sum will be an XOR addition. Okay, so that means a modulo 2 addition. So if the sum is same to that of sent by the transmitter, the received data is accepted, otherwise discarded. Okay. Let's say for example, transmitter sends the first data which is 101101, and the second data is 110000. Okay, so now the transmitter will produce the checksum of these two consecutive data. That means it will perform the modulo 2 addition of the respective elements. So the checksum will be 011101. Okay, so as you can see, it will be an XOR addition. So here 1 XOR 1, that means for the same value XOR output will be 0, and for the different inputs the output will be 1. So for this the output is 0 for 0 input, and for the 1, that means 0 XOR 1, the checksum will be 1. Similarly, 1 XOR 0 will give 1. Then 1 XOR 0 will give the checksum 1. Then 0 XOR 0 will be 0. Then 1 XOR 0 will be 1. So this is the checksum produced at the transmitter. Now via transmission, the transmitter will send these two data along with the checksum, right? So at the receiver side, the received data are to be produced a checksum, and this checksum is to be verified with this given checksum. Okay, so let us see at the transmitter side, or sorry, at the receiver side, the first data is received correctly. That means the same data that is to be transmitted, and the second data may have error in one bit, as you can see in the last bit. So now while producing the checksum will not be the same to that of transmitted by the transmitter. As you can see, the checksum of the transmitter has the value 0 1 1 1 0 1, and here it is 0 1 1 1 0, and the last bit is 1. So here the data is changed. So the receiver will understand that there is an error in the received bit. Okay. So as you can see, the second bit is changed, second data is changed, so that the checksum produced may be wrong. This indicates the error. Now next let us see cyclic redundancy check method, that is CRC method. Unlike checksum scheme, which is based on addition, CRC is based on binary division. Okay. So in CRC, a sequence of redundant bits called cyclic redundancy check bits are appended to the end of data unit, so that the resulting data unit becomes exactly divisible by a second predetermined binary number. Okay. So at the destination, the incoming data unit is divided by the same number. If at this step there is no remainder, the data unit is assumed to be correct and is therefore accepted. Okay, so these are the steps, or this is the logic for cyclic redundancy check method. Let us see the example for this. And one more thing here is there, if there is a remainder, so that remainder indicates that the data unit has been damaged in the transit and therefore must be rejected. That means after the binary division, the remainder should be 0. If remainder is non-zero, it indicates that there is an error in the received data bits. Okay, and if the remainder is 0, the data received is correct or perfect. Okay. Let us see the example for that. Here you are asked to calculate a frame using the generator matrix given. Okay. So for this is the procedure. Now what you need to do is, first of all, you need to make the given frame sequence by appending the generator matrix power. That means here the frame has this data, that means it is 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, so this data frame is to be appended by the number of zeros according to the generator value given to us. Okay, so here the maximum power for the generator is 4. So here 4 zeros are to be appended. That means this will be the division. So here the first data is this by appending 4 zeros according to the generator, and it is to be divided by the generator, that is to be converted into the form of digital 1 or 0, right? So here the g of x is given as 1 1 0 0 and 1 according to the power. That means this indicates x raised to 0. So this is 1, then x raised to 1. So that's coefficient is 1. Then x raised to 2. X raised to 2 term is not there, so it is 0. Then x raised to 3, that term is also not there, so it is 0. Then x raised to 4, so that's coefficient is 1. So this way we are obtaining the g of x, and according to that generator, so it will be like this. Now step by step we need to perform this binary division. So let's say for example, first step we are multiplying this with 1, so it will give 1 into 1 1, 0 into 1 0, 0 into 1 0, 1 into 1 1, then 1 into 1 1. Okay, so by adding this, that means we are going to have modulo 2 addition. So 0 1 1, that means if both are equal then output is 0, and if both are different output will be 1. So 0 XOR 1 1, 1 XOR 1 0, 0 XOR 0 0, 1 XOR 0 1, 1 XOR 1 0. So that is not there. Okay, now we need to carry forward the next bit down like this. So 1 is taken over here. Again the same procedure, we are multiplying this with 1. So likewise we are going to perform the binary division by carrying forward these values, and after obtaining this binary 2 division we have the remainder, that is 1 1 1 0, that does not equals to 0. Okay, so if remainder is does not equals to 0 at the receiver side, it indicates 0. But over here what we need to do is we need to append this with the given data sequence. So here the CRC will be 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 1, the 4 0 bits which we have appended. So after the calculation of this CRC, the remainder are to be placed over here. So this will be 1 1 1 0. So this is the CRC produced. Okay, so now at the receiver side, when this is to be obtained, the remainder should be 0. and if it does not equals to 0, it indicates error. Okay, so this is how we can find the CRC code. Okay, now next is error correction. What we have seen till now was error detection method. Now next is error correction, in which the errors can be identified and they are corrected as well. So in that, first one is BEC, which is called as backward error correction, and the second one is FEC, that is forward error correction. Okay, now in backward error correction, that is in BEC, when the receiver detects an error in the received data, it requests back to the sender to retransmit the data. Okay, that is called as backward error correction. And in forward error correction, when the receiver detects some error in the received data, it executes error correcting code which helps it to auto recover and to correct some kind of errors. Okay, so forward error correction is more beneficial to use. These are the references. I hope that this concept is clear to you now. Thank you. Thank you for listening.